everyone, hope you're well. Today I am filming on the day, March favorites, so hopefully will come out today as well. Today is the 31st. I started swatching out a few things last night just to speed things up a little bit, and I have just swatched out the pencils, and then the watercolors I will do together with you. So let's look what were my March favorites, and these are just sort of color related art supplies. So I had two pencils from Derwent Lightfast, which I really enjoyed using, and those were the Fossil Grey and the Golden Sun, which are these two. So the Golden Sun I bought open stock, and the Fossil Grey came in the, what was it, the 72 pencil set, which is this one here. I have a nice swatch out video for you, so I'll try to link it up in the right corner here, and then you can see all the colors. Then I have really enjoyed Luminance pencils, which are by Caran, and I have to say my sort of top pencil of choice would be Derwent Drawing Pencils, but they only come in a set of 24. There is no more colors in this line, and like the texture of them, every single pencil is just super creamy. I haven't come across any scratchy ones or any problematic colors, and I really love them. So I wish this pencil line was a lot sort of broader in the sense of color choices, but who knows, maybe there will be something coming out later or at some point. But for now, this is sort of this was and it still is my favorite pencil. The pencil number 2 was the Derwent Lightfast, which I thought is a fairly comparable, kind of very similar in terms of color and texture, but it's not exactly the same thing at all. But since I have discovered the Luminance pencils, these have been pushed onto number 3, and number 2 are now for me the Luminance. I absolutely love them. I find their color choices or their color variety is actually a bit more interesting than the Derwent Lightfast. These have more kind of a traditional sense, and these are quite unique. Some of the hues are very unique, and I love it for that. I also love the texture. The only slight problem I have with them is sometimes you get the odd pencil, which is a little bit problematic. And I wanted to point out something. One of my very kind viewers has mentioned that some of the pencils have like a white print and some of them have a silver. The silver is apparently the old pencils, and then they have been I don't know, updated somehow, and the latest ones are the white. So I had a look, and it happened to be that I do have two pencils which have a silver writing on them. One of them is the Golden Bismuth yellow, which I don't have a problem with, but it's like a regular pencil, works fine. But the sepia, yeah, so the sepia 10% is also a silver. I don't remember having problems with it when I was swatching it out. I think the one that I do have problems with, I'm just trying to find it, is the Burnt Sienna 10%, which is a white. So yeah, I will have to contact or try to contact somehow Caran directly and see whether I can get a replacement for this pencil, because from some of my viewers I heard that their Burnt Sienna 10% is absolutely fine. So it could be that, you know, there's an odd pencil that has a problem with it. So the problem here is it does create these very sort of scratchy marks where you're not getting the creamy pigment distribution sort of equally and smooth laid on the paper as you do with the rest or the most of the pencils. And then there's also like a weird dot of like a pigment which is darker, and it kind of lays in a gritty way. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one. And then I noticed that sometimes when I rotate the pencil and the lead kind of goes on another, you know, angle, that I hit the sweet point and it just kind of becomes creamy again until it becomes scratchy. So there's some sort of weird mix-up of pigment and binder. I have no idea, but yeah, just wanted to update you on that, a little bit of extra info. So now let's look at the luminance, the colors that I have really enjoyed, and it's the middle Verdigris, Payne's Grey 30, Payne's Grey 60, 30%, 60%. So here they are, beautiful colors. And then we have dark indigo, which has replaced like my black pencil. It is so much more interesting than just a flat black. Pink white is barely visible on the white paper, but it is gorgeous for blending. And look what happens if you blend them together. So it pulls out the blue pigment, like blue violet pigment, and it's just gorgeous. Don't like it so much here at the end because it's a bit hard to blend, but when you create a saturated swatch with the dark indigo and over it slightly blend the pink white, you get this beautiful gradient, which I'll show you a little close-up of, and it's just like the prettiest thing. And yeah, I started using this color on the eyes and I absolutely love it. And then Anthroquinoid pink, which has been confirmed again and again that this pigment is being discontinued. And so if you like this color, make sure you go through your art supplies and see what actually, let me tell you the pigment. So the pigment is PR168, and yeah, check out your kind of watercolors and pencils and whatever has this pigment in there, because you know, the colors that probably will be created to replace these colors won't be exactly the same. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, now let's jump. There's a very loud airplane. Right, okay, so let's jump into watercolor swatches. So for this month I have a few colors. Oh, before I do that, about a week ago, actually more than a week ago, a Friday it was, I started swatching out all of my pencils, and I've used this Jackson's sketchbook, which has kind of finished paper, and I have reviewed it. And I showed you this paper in one of the haul videos, so I'll try to link it up here for you as well. But basically it's 130 GSM paper made in Germany by Kunst Papier. Okay, so if you're interested and you would love to see all of my pencils, colored pencils that is, these don't include watercolor pencils, just the colored pencils, then let me know and I can do a nice swatch, or a flip rather, because look, there's many of them and you might want to have it as a reference, and just we could compare some of the colors in that video, which I think might be similar or not, and yeah, so that could be fun to do. So let me know, and if you're interested, I will do that video for you. Right, so watercolor, let's go. So for my first color, it's going to be quinacridone gold. It's a color that I repurchased a big tube of. So I had the teeny one 5mm tube from ages before. I squeezed it out in a lot of my different palettes and I've been using it, and now I literally squeezed out the last drop of it, and I reminded myself how beautiful and luminous it is. I love this color. It goes in line with Indian yellow and nickel azu yellow. If you're that type of a girl or boy, then yeah, definitely this would be your color. So It's got a punch. I swatched out this color on my Instagram, and if you want to see a couple of the other swatches I did there, you can check out that video, but I will do it here as well for a reference point. You don't need much of it. It really goes a long way. So this is, let me tell you, this is the PO48 and PY150, which is nickel azy yellow. And then, well, let me squeeze them out first. Transparent Red Oxide is another color that I have rediscovered. I had this a while ago, I mean for quite a while, and I love using it. It's just so gorgeous. It's got stunning granulation. The pigment is PR101. I am making something with this pigment in my handmade watercolors, which I can't tell you exactly what. It's a secret for now. But yeah, that palette is coming soon. The colors are drying nicely. So this one I didn't tell you, Sodalite Gen. It's a Primatech color, and it's gorgeous. It's super expensive, but totally worth it. I wish there was something more affordable with a similar quality, but it's just stunning. So yeah. Oop, this was a bit much. So this is Payne's Grey. Payne's Grey is my all-time favorite grey. It's got that sort of cool tone to it, and I absolutely love it. Pigment here is PB29 and PBK9, so pigment black and pigment blue. Right, Rose Dore by Winsor Newton has become a favorite because it's just super adorable. It's got this very light coral color. It doesn't go too bright. Someone asked me how it compares to Daniel Smith Quinacridone Coral. It does not. Quinacridone Coral by Daniel Smith is super vibrant, and you can go from sort of really light colors into very, very kind of vibrant pink coral color. With this one you won't achieve that. It stays at a light tone and it's beautiful. Okay, so let's squeeze it out onto here like that. So we're going to start with Quinacridone Gold. So like I said, you don't really need that much of it, and in my opinion it looks the best when there is less of it, because otherwise it's just, you know, it doesn't shine as well. So you need kind of to see the color be luminous like this bit here, you see. And what I like is you can go into deeper color and lighter colors, so it's quite pretty. Next one, Transparent Red Oxide. If you love transparent colors and you love these sort of red siennas and all these gorgeousness, this would be your color. I absolutely love it. It's great for landscapes. So you don't need to work this color too much, but if you want that extra bit of drama, just add a bit of water and kind of mix it around, get some movement there. You'll see that creates interesting effect with granulating colors. Next one we have Sodalite Gen, another granulating color. So if you use a lot of it, it almost looks black. It can be quite intense, but it has that sort of grayish blue kind of look to it. And let's compare it right next to Payne's Grey, which is completely different because it doesn't have the granulating properties to it, but let's just have a bit of fun. You'll see it's sort of similar in the color family, type of thing. So I love this grey. It's just like a really sophisticated grey in my opinion. Really like contemporary and interesting. And this color lends to really beautiful blossoms and cauliflowers if you're into that. And then finally we have Rose Dore by Winsor Newton. So you can see we're not getting that vibrancy. It's quite creamy, it's quite mellow. And if you're not into bright colors and prefer kind of pastel tones, it's not really a pastel, but it's a very light color, which mixes quite beautifully with the Payne's grey. I've done a bunny illustration for the Easter bunny theme, and then you can have a look on my channel as well. I'll try to link it up here. So these are the colors. Let me just quickly title them, dry them a little bit, and we'll come back to see them in a close-up. Okay, so they are almost dry, and I wanted to give you a close-up. So here's the quinacridone gold, very beautiful color, and then the amazing granulation in transparent red oxide is quite unique. It the way the granulation happens, it sort of clusters in these tiny little particles. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, and you can get it sort of quite deep. It's beautiful. Sodalite Gen, so it's got a very clear blue to it, with like a sort of dark color. Maybe like a grayish blue. Payne's grey, although it's not, I don't think it's supposed to be a granulating color, but it does have definitely a movement in there, and like I said, it can create lovely blossoms. It's not a flat grey, and it's got that blue coming through as well, so it's really interesting. And as you can see, the color kind of really matches the pencils. And then we have Rose Dore, and you can see it's sort of quite light. It actually is a very good match to Anthroquinoid pink pencil, so that's quite interesting. And the pigments here, which I didn't say before, on the tube there is a typo here. So one of my viewers informed in the comments that this is a typo that's been there for years, and by the looks of it hasn't changed. So it says here PY19 and PY97. Obviously there can't be two yellow pigments because it's a coral color, so one of them has to be like a pink type of a color. So in fact it's supposed to be a PV19, not PY19, and PV19 stands for quinacridone violet, I believe, and PY97, I think it's a Hansa yellow if I'm not mistaken. So those two colors have created this beautiful light coral, but I don't know how they worked on the formula to create such a light version of this color, because if you take quinacridone violet and you take Hansa yellow, the color that will mix I think would come out pretty vibrant in my opinion, because PY19 is quite a strong color, keeping in mind all quinacridones are very vibrant. So I wonder how they created this. So this is very unique, and I doubt I would be able to recreate this color mixing those two pigments. So that's all for favorites for the month of March. Let me know what have your favorites been this month, whether they're pencils or watercolors, or maybe even, you know, acrylic paints or anything else. I haven't played much with my oil sticks and acrylic paints this month. Gave them a little bit of a break, but I have been jolly enjoying the colored pencils and watercolors together. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.